Welcome back to the Spider-Man Deadpool storyline. Now, this is a bit of an out there story, a bit more of a crazier storyline in which the two of them have been teaming up. To give you a quick rundown as to how we got to where we are, our two heroes have been teaming up through various adventures, which led to them discovering a super powerful, super intelligent robot that was going to destroy the future, but then they discovered that they don't need to do so. They could teach him to be better, and he sent them on a road trip, which eventually led to them fighting against various bug monsters and being flung through various portals, ending up all over the multiverse in various dimensions. Woo! That was a mouthful. If you're wondering what this is, we have done this storyline before, and I will link you the playlist down below. But as a part of our goal of completing storylines that we left hanging, it's time to finish up the last two episodes of Spider-Man Deadpool. If you're wondering where you are, this is the Comicstorian channel. You see, we take a lot of comic books, the lore to your favorite video games, or the plot lines to movies, and we break them down into a poor man's audio drama. It allows you to catch up on your favorite storylines and plots, and basically know what's happening in your favorite video games, even if you don't have as much free time as we all wish we did. After you're done watching this, if you enjoy it, please consider subscribing to our channel to stay up to date on all kinds of pop culture goodness, and give the video a like to let me know. Benny, we want more Spider-Man Deadpool. I mean, it's kind of an easy question to answer because everyone wants Spider-Man Deadpool, don't we? After falling outside of time and reality, Spider-Man and Deadpool landed in a barren world. The two begin to walk, and Deadpool tells him, "Look on the bright side, Spidey. At least we don't have to deal with the bugs anymore, right? Looks like our road trip continues." As the two pass the next sand mound, though, Spider-Man folds his arms, asking, "You were saying?" As Deadpool looks down, he says, "Son of a explicitive word!" Down below, the Eternal Ransack beats down on some of the natives. Deadpool says, "I love the Eternals. Maybe when they're done with their vacation, we could team up, Spidey." Ransack grabs Deadpool, throwing him through a building. Spider-Man then begins to help some of the natives, and he asks, "You wouldn't happen to be losing some livestock to things that are bug-like in nature, would you?" And one of the natives asks, "Bugs? Our livestock have carapaces like all milk bearers." Deadpool jumps down. Gross! I'm a little rusty on the continuity thing, but aren't the Eternals good guys? After reading the editor note, which explained that Ransack is a good guy, Deadpool then says, "That's what I thought. The editors always have it right." So what gives? Spider-Man tries to web Ransack up, but before the webbing could set, he grabs the two of them, throwing them into a building. Spider-Man pulls Deadpool out of the building, dropping him down, and he asks, "So what's going on with Ransack?" Just then, two women appear in strange clothes, and the first says that her name is Janor, and this is Coley. Coley looks at the two of them and says, "Sup, nerds?" Spider-Man begins to introduce himself, and Janor tells him, "We know who you are. We have to stop Ransack so we can deal with the Galex that you call bugs. Ransack is the one responsible for the hole between all of these worlds. Help us, and you two can go home finally. If not, you can go to jail." Spider-Man looks at Deadpool, and he tells him, "Only with you would a road trip end in prison." And Deadpool asks, "Don't all road trips end that way?" Spider-Man and Deadpool jump onto Janor's flyer, and Coley says that they've had a close eye on Ransack ever since he came to the negative zone. He was peaceful up until he punched a hole in the universe. He hasn't just gone mad. Something isn't right here. Deadpool looks at the hologram description stating, "Yeah, it says Ransack's eyes are blue, and right now they're pretty red." Spider-Man then asks, "Maybe he's possessed?" And Deadpool jumps up, telling him, "That works for me! Maximum effort! Chimichangas!" After Deadpool shoots Ransack, Spider-Man tries a different approach, trying to reason with Ransack, which Ransack answers with a punch to the face. The four of them try to bring Ransack down, and as Janor hits him with her electric staff, Ransack's possession fades. He stands up asking, "What have I done?" Spider-Man asks, "Are you okay?" Ransack tells him, "No! Get him out of my head! It's returning!" Spider-Man runs over to try and help, but before Ransack converts back, he hands Spider-Man a small device, stating that this is his failsafe. Take it. It's the only thing that can stop him. It's the only way they can stop him. Spider-Man asks him who, and Deadpool tells him, "It's actually, don't you mean whom?" Just then there's an explosion knocking the two of them back, and a voice tells them, "Nothing stops Blastaar!" But as everyone gets ready to fight against Blastaar, Deadpool takes his time to look at the device that Ransack gave them. He looks at the small box, pushing the button, stating, "I don't get it. I pressed it and nothing happens." Spider-Man tells him, "Really? You want to look at that now?" And Deadpool says, "All right, Blastaar." Ransack throws Spider-Man into Deadpool to knock him away, and Blastaar grabs both Janor and Coley, slamming them into the ground. Deadpool then gets ready to help the two of them, but as he runs, Ransack grabs him by the leg, breaking Deadpool's back over his knee. Spider-Man tries to web Ransack up, but Ransack grabs the strand, flinging them both to the ground. Blastaar then shouts, "Enough!" and he shocks everyone with electricity. As everyone falls to the ground, Blastaar tells Ransack that he did good. Now all we need to do is finish everyone off and stabilize the portal. Then we'll be able to rule both universes. Ransack begins to groan and Blastaar asks, "What is it? You're killing the moment here, man." Oh. He looks back, but before he can say anything, Carcass tackles him to the ground, telling him, "Thanks for ruining my retirement. Now where is..." Ransack charges at him and Carcass asks, "What's going on? We're friends." Spider-Man quickly webs up Ransack while he's focused on Carcass, and Deadpool says, "That was clutch! Just like in your video games!" But I'll admit, I haven't really played the story. Just started swinging around and changing outfits on you, Spidey. Carcass walks up to Ransack and asks, "What happened? Listen to my voice, you're not a monster, you're good." Ransack tries to break free, but after a few moments, Blastaar's possession wears off and Ransack says that he's so sorry. He was living peacefully here when he noticed someone was following him. Blastaar took control of his mind, and before he knew it, he opened up a portal for the bugs that went through it. The horrible thing about it is that he liked it. Blastaar showed him who he really was. Carcass tells him, "No. Blastaar filled your head with lies. You're not the rage inside. You've always been more than that. You need to find the weapon that Blastaar used on you so that you can..." And Blastaar asks, "You talking about this weapon?" He shoots both Deadpool and Coley with the same energy weapon that he used to take control of Ransack. Blastaar tells him, "All right, my pets, tear them to pieces." Deadpool runs at Spider-Man, punching him, telling him, "It's time to die, Webs!" And there's another flash of green with Blastaar telling the natives, "Come one, come all. Nothing will stand in the path of Blastaar. For now, let the invasion of Earth begin." Deadpool chases down Spider-Man, telling him, "There's no getting away and you know this! Look, we both had a good run, but we knew that this comic was going to end with me killing you!" Spider-Man looks over at the natives gathering and he says, "That is a giant army. It might be time to..." But Deadpool then slams his head into the wall, telling him, "It's about time I started acting like my old self. No more PG-13 Deadpool. Time to get some hard R." He slices through Spider-Man's webs, telling him, "There's too much pool in these pages. Not enough dead." Back on the ground, Ransack throws Carcass into Janor, and Janor quickly gets back up, stating that she will stop this. She opens up her shirt, revealing a plasma cannon. Carcass asks, "You're a robot?" And Janor tells him, "I prefer cyborg." The cannon goes off, stunning Ransack and Coley, but Carcass spots Spider-Man falling off in the distance. Carcass grabs Janor, stating that he apologizes for this, but Spider-Man's in peril. Before Janor could finish asking what is he doing, Carcass throws her across the field to catch Spider-Man and stop his fall. Spider-Man slowly starts to get back up, but Carcass tells him that he must hurry and find Blastaar's mind control device. Just then, there's an explosion with Deadpool stating, "Please do not ask me where I hid this rocket launcher. Just know that it was worth it." He continues to fire the rocket, so Spider-Man jumps up, webbing a katana, asking, "How about we level the playing field a bit, Deadpool?" Deadpool takes out another katana, clashing with Spider-Man, shouting, "Finally! We're crossing swords!" Pun slightly intended. He leaps into the air, slashing at Spider-Man, cutting through his suit's chest and mask. But Deadpool then asks, "Why are you smiling at it there?" And Spider-Man tells him, Nah, it's just, well, this." He webs up the electrical panel behind Deadpool, bringing it down, crushing him. Deadpool starts to move, with Spider-Man asking, "Did I just kill you?" And Deadpool tells him, "Nah, I'm back now, but how?" Spider-Man helps him up, telling him, "It must be the electricity. It seems to jolt Blastaar's mind control." And Deadpool says, "I vaguely remember that from the last issue." The two jump onto Janor's flyer when Bug radios in, stating that he just finished working on his device. It can control the bugs that crossed over, but the portal is radiating. What is happening on their side? Spider-Man says that it's Blastaar. He has an army and is leading them to the portal. If any of them get through, they need to blow up the portal. So Deadpool asks, "What about a road trip?" Spider-Man tells him, "It's over. The portal is right over there. Now's our chance to..." But before the two could cross over, there's an explosion, sending them back to the ground. And Blastaar now has everyone under his control, telling them all that they'll be next. "Soon you will bear witness to the end of the world." But while Blastaar is monologuing, Spider-Man whispers something into the comms. Blastaar shouts, asking, "What is that now? There's always someone to ruin my monologuing moment." Ransack begins to grunt and point off in a direction, and when Blastaar looks at the time, he says, "Aw, crap!" Through the portal, the bugs begin to pour out, with Deadpool singing, "It's raining bugs! Hallelujah, it's raining bugs!" Blastaar opens fire on the bugs, but while he's distracted, Spider-Man webs up the mind control device, throwing himself over to Deadpool. Deadpool then catches him, and Spider-Man yells, "I meant for you to catch the mind control thingy, Deadpool." So Deadpool tells him, "A thank you would have been nice, you know. Also, is that some new deodorant?" Spider-Man frantically begins to push the buttons on the mind control device until a shockwave goes out, freeing everyone. Janor then walks forward, stating that she's been waiting for this for a while. Blastaar, you're under arrest. With Blastaar safely under control, Janor then asks Spider-Man and Deadpool, maybe they'd like to become members of the Negative Force. Spider-Man begins to say, actually, we have business back in our, but Janor lets out a sigh, stating, thank goodness, I was just being polite. Deadpool then asks, what are we supposed to do now? The portal's closed. The cannon on Janor's stomach begins to spin and a beam of light shoots out and a portal opens up. Deadpool says, wait. You could have done this the whole time. Spider-Man pushes Deadpool through to the other side. But as they get through, everything has changed. Spider-Man hops in the buggy and he calls Bug, but after a few moments, Bug doesn't answer. Deadpool pops open a compartment stating, well, thankfully, Matrix put a teleporter on this thing. Time to go back to New York. The two of them reappear in New York and they begin to look around, with Spider-Man getting up asking what happened. Deadpool looks at the destroyed building and says, well, looks like our comic got canceled. Now, the next storyline that we're going to be bringing you is the conclusion to this and the cancellation of this comic book. It was crazy. It was all over the place. Personally, I liked the Itsy Bitsy Spider storyline and the Old Man Deadpool storyline. This final one's a little bit crazy for my taste, but it's still pretty fun. Either way, what do you guys think of it down below? And don't forget to subscribe as we conclude the Spider-Man Deadpool comic book next week right here at the Comicstorian channel.